Hey guys, welcome to my first video. So my big objective with these videos is something I've been wanting to do for a while now. Gonna start making time more and more to dedicate and put these videos out maybe once or twice a week, especially in the end of the week. Either I'll make the video, I don't know, Friday, Saturday, post it on Sunday, who knows, but it'll definitely be a video in the end of the week where I'll show my losing week or my profitable week, right? Because I can't win every week, no trader does. And the big objective here is going to be pretty much so you guys follow my journey. I'm going to be completely transparent. As you can see here, this is my live account I have opened, and we're going to be going over the results. So the objective is also, I'm going to pretty much break down the trades. Not all of them, obviously, because we'll be on here forever, but just the big ones. I picked out a couple ones that were nice in the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to show you pretty much the breakdown that I had, why I entered, where the stop loss was, where the take profit was. Going to be completely transparent, which is very hard nowadays in our field as a trader, investor, whatever it may be, because the huge hedge fund guys, they pretty much don't do anything online. They're not into social media because of the haters, the trolls, and all that stuff. So whenever you do find a good trader and he's profitable, he's nowhere online, nowhere to be found. And anything you find on YouTube nowadays is just people say they trade, but let's see if you trade, show us you trade. So it's very hard to find somebody that's actually putting their money where their mouth is. So this is pretty much as real as it gets. As you can see up here, this is a live account. I blocked this out here. I cut it out so you don't see my account number, but it is a live account. Anybody that's a trader knows that when this says live, it's a live account. There's no way to hide that. And down here, we're gonna go over the trades. And yeah, so before I get started, for the new traders, I want to kind of give a couple of suggestions or maybe tips, since this is my first video for you guys to follow my journey. Tip number one would probably be that you have to take losses. You'll see here, you see the red here, this is a loss, this is a loss. You have to take losses and do not let them affect you. You have to think of trading as a business, okay? And losing losses are like paying the bills of the business, paying the rent, whatever it may be. Let's say, let me give you an example. If you had $10,000 to start a business today and you opened in 30 days, would you still have $10,000? No, you wouldn't, because you invested it to rent, to furniture, whatever it may be. You invested that money. So think of trading, especially if you're starting out, that if you're starting on $5,000, $10,000, whatever it may be, don't expect for the first 30 days for you not to have lost some of that money. It's normal, okay? Don't quit just because of that. If this is what you want to pursue, do it. I've been doing this for a long time, a very, very long time. My close friends know this. Anybody that's in my life knows that I have been doing this for a long time. I have done over 7 or 8 courses, online courses, in-person courses. It's just, if it's something you love and like and you're addicted to and you're curious about, you're always going to be curious enough to keep studying and perfecting your craft, okay? Damn, I'm just gonna start rambling. I'm so sorry, but it's just some things I want to get out there, that it's for either you that you want to be a trader, or you want to take your time into this, you want to study this. I just really want you to know these simple tips and facts. Like, that was fact number one, that was tip number one. And the other tip I could give you is that it's all a probability game. It's all a probability game, whether you're in the financial markets, in the stock market, or in the crypto market. It's all a probability game. All you have to do is find an edge, find your edge, protect your downside, okay, which I'm going to talk about and show you in my trades. You have to protect your downside and execute. You have to execute, okay? If without execution, then you're just wasting your time. You cannot be scared. If you have a plan, execute it, okay? And then you're going to have to eventually just make adjustments along the way, because the market is constantly changing. So you just, along the way, your edge, you're just going to have to keep tweaking, adjusting it, perfecting it. And that way you would just always be on point. Okay, no athlete, nobody that's on top one in their industry they're not just settled. They don't just stop growing. You're just always gonna have to be studying, perfecting, going back in the charts and back testing. You just simply could go back. This is all past data. This is all past data where you could just come look at and start developing your own trading style and let's say strategy. And you have enough data here to go back since the market started, all here for your taking, for you just to study it and see where it goes. All right, so let's get to the good stuff. I don't want to keep boring you guys. Let's get to the good stuff. So here is this is the account history, as you can see here. Let's break this down to, hold on. Oh, there we go. Let's go to a custom period. Let's go to June 1st. We're in June now. Till today, which is June 13th. Okay? Press OK on that. Let this baby load. And let's see if it loaded. It did. So in the last, so this month so far in June, which it's been what, 2 weeks now, since 2 weeks, I'm up $27,000, almost $28,000 in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so let's go. Let's start picking. Well, you can see here everything's broken down. The losers, the red ones are the losers, and you have the winners, so forth and so forth. I'm just explaining this. Maybe you've never seen this platform before, so I'm just trying to break it down. So let's pick up the first trade I want to share would be, let's go with the pound USD, which is the pound against the dollar. But I want to, before I get into the sell position, which was Friday, I want to show you where I bought it. So I made money on the way up, and then I made money on the way down, which was very nice play. Here we go. It was on June 4th. I entered the pound USD, and it was a nice profit of around $5,000. So let me go to the chart because I have it set up for you guys. This is the pound USD. Okay, this is a platform I use to analyze my charts. It's called TradingView. You could open your free account, and here I lined up my pairs that I look during the week, and then I analyze and I leave a little red flag on which one I'm interested in. But I highly suggest, if you're starting out, to just pick 3 or 4 and pick them and let them be your favorite and just study them, follow them every single day because you understand their flow. So these are my top 4. These are my favorite: USD JAPY, Euro USD, Euro AUD, and the pound USD. These are my top 4, babies, let's call them. So here's the daily chart. I always start out analyzing on the daily chart. This is where I took the trade, okay, to go long. And I'm gonna zoom in closer, but you always start out in the daily chart. So we had this huge bearish move, like the market just tanked. So when that happened, the market falls down that fast. Look at this. When the market falls down that fast, we know that it needs to recoup. It needs to come back in some way, because otherwise that country would just go into some kind of huge economic problems, right? Compared to, let's say, the dollar here, the dollar against the pound. So it needs to retrace. So that retracement happened, but it wasn't fulfilled. And it retraced about halfway. It wasn't completely fulfilled. So once we get down here and we start looking, what was the price trying to do? Bounce up. We have a higher high. It failed to hold the support here. Let's put a line there. It failed to hold the support there, and it broke in. But this was great because now we have a higher low. It never reached here, so it made a step. The market, you have to understand, it moves in steps. So now it made a step here. So okay, that's interesting. Now it gets back here. Was it gonna go higher? You stay watching. You really don't know. Market rejected it. I'm just giving you an analysis to get here to my point to why I took this trade here, okay? So between these days, yes, I had trades there and stuff like that, but I'm not getting into those now. I'm getting into why I took this trade here. So the market decided to come back down. Everybody's like, oh my God, we're going to go all the way back down there. They got, everybody's already panicking and starting selling. And everybody's thinking it's going to get back there. But the market quickly does a fake out, breaks the support, does a fake out. A lot of people took shorts here off the resistance, hoping it'll go back down. And the market just rips. This strong daily bullish candle right here, this is daily, okay? Each candle here is a daily, is 1 day. So on this day, it completely rips. Here, it starts giving us a lot of ideas for buying, a lot of opportunities to go long on this. So once this all happened, which was beautiful throughout these days, it just bullish move. I said, okay, we're looking into a we're entering a bullish pattern now. I trade the trend, okay, guys. I'm always following the trend. So here it honestly just it's clear as daylight. It just shows you that we're on an uptrend now. So once I decided, okay, we're in an uptrend and we had this very strong bullish daily candle here once again, and we're getting up here close now to this daily resistance, which was very strong because it came up here once and it rejected it and it tanked. So I'm telling myself, okay, we're getting close to that level now. These levels act like a magnet, okay? If price is getting close to it, it's gonna hit. It's an 80% chance it's gonna hit. So they act like magnets. So I took the opportunity to go ahead. Let's go down on a lower time frame, and now we're seeing right here where I drew that trend line, and we had this up move. Okay, so once I saw that we're getting close to this very strong resistance, I decided, okay, it's gonna act like a magnet. I know it's gonna touch. Well, I didn't know. It's all a probability game. I have a huge chance of touching, a huge probability of touching. All I have to do now is look for a good entry. So let's go down on a 1 hour chart. And what we see here is that price went up, came down, almost giving us, I was waiting honestly to come back around this level to give me upside down head and shoulders. This is a pattern. There's different patterns in the market, okay, guys? And I was honestly looking for an upside down head and shoulders here. And usually I would enter around the 50 or the 61.8 level. That's ideal for me. But that didn't happen. So I had to be watching this close. Like every 15 minutes I'll look at the chart to have an idea what is the price doing. It came down here and it started rejecting. And from what I saw on the where is it right here, the DXY, which is the dollar index, at that day in the moment I usually trade the New York market a lot more. You have to understand that the Forex market, it has 3-4 different sessions. It has the Asian session, Euro session, New York session. I usually trade the New York session more because it falls better with my times, which is 8 in the morning till like 4 p.m. So around this time, it was ideal for me. This around here, I was sleeping. It's like 3-4 in the morning. So when it came up here, I started looking at it. I said, okay, it has to come around here for me to be really, a great entry. But it never came down there. It gave me a double bottom right here. If it came, I was waiting for this to come straight down. Why does this thing keep popping up right in our face? Let me see if I lock it. Oh no, it still doesn't appear. But anyways, so I was waiting for this price to come all the way down here, and it didn't. It gave me a double bottom. So once it gave me a double bottom, I decided to take a long. And you have to understand that all my trades are risking 1 to make 2. That's proper risk management. You can only survive in investing with proper risk management. In all my trades, I risk 1 to make 2 because that way I'm going to win in the long term. Imagine if me and you are playing soccer, okay? And every goal you make, you get 1 point, but every goal I make, I get 2 points. Who do you think is going to win in the end of the rounds? I have a huge probability of being the winner in the end of that game because every goal I make is 2. So that's the same idea here. So as you can see, the red is where my stop loss was placed, and the green is where my take profit was placed. And I could easily show you here that these are the accurate prices, because you could see the take profit, which is a TP 27349, around 27349 there, and my stop loss was 25899, which is around there, 25. Oh, it was actually shorter, my 25. Oh no, I'm sorry, 25899 was my entry. The stop loss here says 25899 because my entry was there. Because what happened was, as soon as my trade starts going into profit, I move my stop loss. Let me unlock it. I move my stop loss to break even. That means I have no more risk in this trade. That means it moved, If the market decides to go back down, if price decides to go back down, it gets me out flat, break even. I don't lose any money. So it's either I'm right or I win or lose, and win or lose nothing. Okay, so that's what happened there. I moved the stop loss to break even because it was a risky trade, because I was so close to the daily resistance here, as you can see. So that trade worked out beautifully. It just hit it and it went through and it broke, and it hit the take profit on the next day, I believe. Let me see here. And you're asking, why was I targeting there? That was easily because my next daily resistance was up here. So you can see that I was around here. I bet that I was gonna come to this resistance line as a magnet, and it did. And I was also betting that, okay, my take profit is going to be around the next strong resistance line, which was the next daily resistance. So that was very simple. I just followed the trend, looked for a good entry, and took it. Execute. So let's go to the next trade. Let me take this out of here. The next trade was this short trade, which was Friday, which was yesterday, which was incredibly great. Right here made me a nice $3,600 in less than like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So as you can see the prices, if you want to make sure the prices are the same, but I already made sure of that. So what happened here was, as soon as we reached that daily resistance, which was my target, that strong daily resistance, the price had a huge reaction. Like, the price did not hold there at all. It just completely started on a sell-off. So the dollar took strength, the pound turned super weak, and we just had this huge sell-off here. So once I saw that, and this support was broken right here, I decided, okay, it's a good opportunity to wait for a pullback and take a short there. But what happened, I was sleeping. It was like 3 or 5 in the morning right here. So I was sleeping during that time, and the trade would have been perfect, would have been a beautiful winner. But I decided, okay, I'm waking up now. It's probably like 8 in the morning or something like that. Let me go lower time frame. Oh, and the weekend I hate it because sometimes it's so laggy because everybody's using this platform on the weekend. So apologize for the lag. So yeah, so this was right here where I wanted to get in initially, but I was sleeping, and the around here was like 8 in the morning or something. So I decided, okay, around right here. So I decided, all right, what did I see? Let me see if I remember what I saw here. I missed that. I got frustrated because I had missed it, but it was New York Open, and I think it was a bullish move. Hold on, let me go back down here. So what I had drawn at, this was going to be my entry. This was going to be my initial entry right there, the 50, but I missed it because it was super early in the morning. And then let me come down here. I'm going to lower time frame. Sorry for this. So I decided to take here. I think I went on a lower. I don't really remember, but I was going with the flow of the dollar because I was watching the dollar index, and it was just completely strong Friday. Like, it was just completely strong, and the pound was taking a dump. So I pretty much decided just to go with the momentum here because I already missed my initial trade. So I already knew that I was going to be risking a little bit more than initially. So I had missed my my first entry, which I wanted. So I just decided to get out of here just out of a gut feeling. Just like, out of, okay, I'm going to go with the momentum here because it's already playing out what I knew was going to happen. So I just got in a little bit too late, but it worked out beautifully. And it just kept tanking. It just kept going all the way down. And my target was around here. You're probably asking, why was my target there? And let me show you here on the daily. Once again, sorry for the lag. And you can see here where I missed it. Wasn't on the 4 hour. Right here. So, and then I drew out this right here, strong support, and that's what's going to be my target around right here, around this level, and the trend line. So they were both lining up a strong support, and the trend line was bouncing right there, so I was happy enough to get out around right here, which I did. I didn't even let it touch the green because it was so oversold, like completely oversold. Let me show you here. All of these candles sell, 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 sell. So around right here is where I got out. Like around right here, I left money on the table because my target, it eventually hit my target, but it was so oversold. Look it up. We had like 10 bearish candles here, completely oversold. The MFI, which is this indicator here, tells me that it was just also completely oversold. So I was like, you know what? It's Friday. I'm happy with the profits that I had throughout the week. I don't want to give anything back. So I just closed it out, and the thing just kept going. I was like, oh man. But whatever. Sometimes this happens. You leave money on the table and you move on to the next trade. So it hit. Look, it perfectly hit my target, and the price just completely rejected it and retraced. So yeah, that was that trade. It was a nice 3,600 and great Friday. Let's go on to the next one. The next one I believe was Euro AUD. Euro AUD. A long play that I had on Euro AUD, which was beautiful because I'm going to explain to you that there is no greater feeling of you entering a trade and you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you look in your phone, you look in your account, and you just, made money while you were sleeping. There's no better feeling. And that was a nice $6,000 gain, which I made while I was sleeping. So it was just beautiful. Let's go to the trade. Let's bring it up here. Sorry this video is taking long. I really didn't think it was going to take this long, but I'm rambling. And there's still like 2 other trades I want to show. And sorry about this. But follow my journey, and I guess I'll start getting better at making these videos. So let's get to the trade. Oh yeah, so let's break down the analysis. Remember I told you in the beginning, pick a pair, follow them, get acquainted with them, see what they're doing. So I've been following this pair since like probably back here, trading it every single day. So the last 2 months, this pair just been going down, going down, going down, going down. And remember what I showed you on the pound USD, that it had that huge move and it had to completely retrace all the way back down. So we finally had that complete retracement. We had that huge move, and it finally, after months, weeks, of just going down, it finally completed that huge move, that retracement. So now I knew that my retracement was 100% complete, and you could just draw a line here, strong support. And I was looking for a great rejection, just a rejection off this price level for me to start looking for a buy, because I knew that, okay, we just been selling. I want to get a good opportunity to make some money on the upside here, because like I said, I knew the retracement move was done. The downside move here, it was pretty much done. We're reaching here strong levels here now. So decided to go in the lower time frame. And what really caught my eye was once price reached here, it rejected very quickly, and coming back down was a perfect setup. Here it gave us a double bottom. Okay, I know there was a lot of people coming in here and taking a trade already off of here, but I didn't want to take that chance because we're still in a downtrend. I like to trade the trend. So this was one of those trades where I'm trading against the trend. So that's already putting risk onto my account. Our number one rule is not to lose money. So I'm already trading against the trend. I want to see more confluence. I want to see more reasons why the price is going to bounce off here. So I know there was people putting the fib level around right here, and they were taking, trades around here, targeting there. But I don't want to be that risky because this price could have just continued on the trend. And then now you just would have lost a couple money for no reason, for not being patient. So I wanted to wait for more confluence, more reasons why this price around this levels and this support here was being respected. So I looked for it, gave us a nice double bottom. Once I saw that, I said, okay, we got a double bottom here. I'm going to draw a trend line, which shows my structure. And once this structure is broken, then it's telling me, okay, the downtrend could be maybe over, but we could have either a beginning of a bullish move or a small bullish move. That's what's telling me here. I don't know. It's very hard to catch a move that's going to come up to all here. Like, you don't know if it's going to go up there. Nobody does. It's all a probability. It's all taking chances, right? So I knew that I was going to have a small bullish move because of what I saw here. The structure was broken and got a double bottom. And now I'm getting this perfect setup here on my fib. I'm getting this nice up move, broke the structure, and I'm getting a retracement back to my 50% of 61.8 level. And around there, I'm going to be looking to get in. But sometimes I don't just get in when I see the price. I just don't enter just because the price touched here. I want to wait for some more candle patterns. Candle patterns is each candle has a different shape. Some leave wicks, some don't, and that's just how it goes. But eventually the price is going to respect it, and it's going to, show you what it's doing. Candlestick reading is very important. So once it reached my level, I said, okay, I want to wait for some candlestick patterns, and it gave me this nice engulfing 4-hour candle. Once I saw that, I decided to enter the trade, risking again 1 to make 2. Very simple. I put my stop loss under the last low here, and my target was around the 27%, which if you want to be, have a second take profit, which you want to be, you want to make some more money out of it, you could easily target the 61.8. These two are usually levels that you could target. But remember, sometimes keep in mind that sometimes once the price reaches 27%, it could easily just bounce back and go all the way back to where it was. So I didn't want to take that risk because, like I said, like I told you, we're on a downtrend here. I didn't want to take that risk. I wanted to take my money, get out, and maybe look for another trade. So my take profit was hit beautifully while I was sleeping. I woke up, I was very happy, and I saw that there was never any rejection here. It never rejected the 27% and came back. It just completely blew right through it. And I didn't put that here, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm remembering, because once this happened, I decided to take smaller trades in the air. See, this is what happened. Right here, I made this while I was sleeping, right? So in the morning I woke up, the take profit was hitting, and I saw that that level was completely blown right through. So I saw that we still had a lot of buy volume on this. We still had a lot of buy momentum. So I decided to take 2 other trades, which you can see here. One was for $2,000 and one was for $4,000, which were also buys. So I saw that huge momentum and I said, you know what? The 61.8 level is going to get hit, because this thing just blew right through it. And like I said, we've been just going down, 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 down. So I said, you know what? It's a very nice target right here to target the trend line. We have a nice trend line. Trend lines also work as a little magnet. And we have the 61.8 that needs to get hit because my Fibonacci structure here was respected. So that's why I decided to, again, I don't remember where the prices was. I don't want to draw it up because it's going to take too much time. But it was around here. I got in around right here. Put the stop loss a little bit under. Targeted the trend line and the 61 level. And boom. So that was an amazing day. Now that I come to think of it. You can see right here. Clear as daylight. All in the same day. 6,000, 2,000. And then another 4,000. So that was a beautiful, beautiful setup I saw in your AUD. And I just executed. I just took initiative. Yes, maybe you're starting out, you don't have, you can't put on these lot sizes, this size of a position, but even if it was smaller, let's say it was $100 in your pocket, I bet that'll make a difference. $100 could pay something. $100 could, make your weekend a little bit better. Whatever it may be, even if it was a small position, if it's a winning position, it's a good position, okay? If it was a winning trade, no matter if it was how much money you made, profit is profit. You can't go broke taking profit. All right, so let's go on to the next trade. That was actually one of my favorites so far in June. Let's go on to, let's see here, USD Jappy. USD Jappy was a beauty. It was a sell that I took on the dollar against the yen, which was right here, and it was a nice $3,500 gain. Let's jump to the charts. USD Jappy. Okay, USD type. Let's start out with the daily chart. And this was pretty simple, straightforward. And around right there. So this is my daily chart. The price decided, made this move here, broke out, had a nice bullish move up here. Nice bullish move. Sorry, my phone was ringing. I got distracted. Okay, so I had this nice bullish move. It came down here to this resistance level, and it completely rejected. It didn't just reject by a little bit. You have to really pay attention to the daily candles. It rejected the heck out of this thing. Like, look at the size of this daily candle that day. It was just like, as soon as it touched here, it touched this level, touched this price, and sellers just got in the market like crazy. The dollar just took a dump. The yen got crazy strong against the dollar, and it just closed the day completely bearish. So that told me, okay, if you go down to the 4 hours, so I started looking at it once I saw that. Because look at this, once you move down, you're just like, oh my god, look at that sell. So you want to just go in with the momentum sometimes, and that's what I did here. Let me show what was on the 1 hour. What was my entry? So as you can already tell, I like basing my entries off Fibonacci's. So the Fibonacci move was, let's see if I remember. Sorry guys, that these trades, those many of trades, a lot of trades, sometimes it's easy to forget. Entry was around here. I saw this on the 4 hour. I saw this huge wick, which was a sell position, because once price got around here, you had to pretty much be on point and pay attention that it could easily just bounce off you, respect this, and continue on the uptrend that it's on. So this was a very important level, because we're here at the moving averages, which they represent a strong support or resistance level, and you see price was just consolidating here forever. So once price got here, it was very hard to tell whether it was going to go up or down. So again, I was just looking for candlestick prices to show me something, and on the 4 hour it gave me this huge wick, which is a sell-off, because you have to think that at some point this was all covered, it was all bullish. So a lot of people were thinking, okay, this thing is going to go back up and continue on the uptrend. But as soon as the 4 hour candle closed with that huge wick, it just said that sellers came back in the market super hard, and the momentum took place. Once I saw that this level was broken, I waited for a retracement. If you put it on the lower time frame, I waited for a retracement here, and I got it off the fib, and I rode this thing all the way down, because it was just pretty much a break and retest play, and I just wanted to ride all the way down to my next strong support level. And it was a beautiful play, but I know I got out before the take profit was even hit, because my take profit was around right here, this level, but I got out as soon as the price touched around here, because this is where the strong support level it is. Because sometimes you'll get a strong wick, and that's what I was expecting, but as soon as I saw that it hit and it was completely oversold already, I decided, you know what, I don't want to give anything back. I left a little bit of money on the table, no problem, and I got out the trade. So that was a pretty simple for. I just followed the momentum here and waited for this something to show me. Because if you just get in on this thing blindly just because it touched the level, then you're just pretty much raising your risks. Yes, you're still taking a risk once you enter the trade, but you want to look for more confirmation. You want to let the market show you. It will show you things sometimes, and sometimes it shows you things that are just like popping out at you, and you're like, oh my god, it was so obvious. So that's what I waited for here, and it was just a beautiful sell-off. But also keep in mind that I watch the DXY index a lot, and this thing represents just the dollar. So sometimes looking at that, it helps me to view and show, okay, throughout that New York session, is the dollar showing strength or is it showing weakness? So that helps me take trades against pairs that are using the dollar, because this right here only shows the dollar. So I like to trade it a lot, basing off of that, kind of using it as a navigator somewhat. Let's go on to the next trade. and then we're done because this is taking forever. USD CAD. USD CAD was a beautiful sell. Where was it? As you can see, there's a bunch of little trades, 200, 500. I'm just pretty much picking out the ones that were like, wow, okay, I cashed out on that one. Like this one right here, USD CAD sell. I got on 2 positions. I got in heavily on this pair because it was just calling out at me. It was just like screaming at me. I was like, okay, I'm willing to take the risk there. And I cashed out a nice close to $7,000, $8,000 there. So let's go on to the chart and show you why I took that. USD CAD. So coming here, you have to understand that this price was being a pain for weeks. Look at this. It was just consolidating. It had no decision what it wanted to do. Either go up or go down, go up, go down. And us traders looking at this, we knew that this fucking gap here, I'm sorry, my language, this gap here had to be covered. All right, but we just didn't know why. So as soon as this price came down, it started coming down, there was a bunch of people already taking shorts and getting stopped out. But this started getting into a huge consolidation, which nobody expected, and price didn't want to break any way up or down. So eventually, once it broke with this huge bearish here, it was a great opportunity. Last month, it was like a month ago, a couple of weeks back, it wasn't in June, I took the trade here. I waited for the break, I waited for the sell, and I took a nice trade here. So, but we're talking about June. So once price decided to come around here and respect this level, I was waiting for this gap to get filled. Okay, so that was also a huge reason for me, because gaps have to get filled in the market. That's like a #1 rule. You just never know when they're gonna get filled. They could take years, they could take weeks, they could take hours. You never know, but you know they're gonna get filled. So as soon as price starts getting around that gap area, I like to take that as another consolidation. So I took that into consolidation. I said, okay, this gap is gonna get filled. It's a nice, we're not even close to getting filled yet. I'm gonna bet on it that's gonna get filled. But I was also going to look for other things. I wasn't just going to take a trade off of that. So if we went down to the 4 hour, it was around here where I took the trade after I saw this 4 hour bearish candle close. Once I saw this bearish candle completely just take over and engulf the previous candles, I said, okay, the sellers are coming into the market. We have to close that thing, the gap. And I know I didn't use the fib on this because there was just no retracement. There was no fib structure on this. So I waited for a pullback. Once this level was broken, I waited for a little pullback and I got in, risking 1 to make 2. It was simple as that. I went in heavily. It was a little bit frustrating. This trade didn't go into profit right away. As you can see here, as soon as I got in, it stayed hours. I mean hours of just going up and down, up and down. So I was like getting pissed off at it, because this will happen. Most trades do not go to profit right away. They will take days. Sometimes I'm holding a trade 3-4 days, and it could get frustrating, but you have to just keep discipline and stay patient and pretty much start doing other things. Like everybody that's follows me or is in my family, they know I have a dental lab, I own another business. So it's very easy for me to enter a trade and just focus on that other business and let the trades do their thing. So it took forever here, and the price just went all the way down, and I don't know if I let it take profit get here or not, but probably didn't. I was probably so frustrated, I probably got out a little bit too early, leaving money on the table. This happens a lot. You could leave money on the table because eventually in the price and you start seeing this kind of money, you're just like, you know what, I'm pretty happy with that. So you just end up taking it, and things just work out. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's a lot of other trades here, but I don't want to get into that because it's going to take hours. Just remember, give feedback, comments, see if you like the video, give some interaction, and it will just really motivate me to make more of these. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to have you follow my journey. To you that want to be a trader, to new traders, who knows, just one last advice: just think of trading as the same way you would if you wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. If you wanted to be a doctor, you have to study 6, 7 years and become great at it, really love at it, you have to practice it over and over again. It takes a long time. Same thing for a lawyer. People come into trading and want to trade the financial markets because it's so easy. They just come here and said, okay, I'm looking at a chart, I could just click one button and it buys. Okay, that's easy, but why are you doing it? Did you study it? If you don't take the same amount of years that you would to become a lawyer or a doctor, or just as serious, you're not going to be successful at doing this. Okay, trading is the easiest way. No, trading is the hardest way to make easy money. Remember that. Trading is the hardest way to make easy money. Because anybody could just come in, click buy and sell, but you have to learn how to analyze it. So please take time to learn your craft. All right? And eventually you start just perfecting your craft and you start becoming profitable little by little. Just protect your downside. All right? So I guess I'll see you guys on the next trade. Thank you for watching. If you followed it all the way to the end, I really appreciate you taking your time and following the video. And I'll see you in the next trade. Trade with confidence. Take care.